Hi. Hello, everybody. I am Sabah. I am a food stylist and soon to be part of Professional Circuit.
Thank you, Sabah, for joining us on the professional circuit. It is a pleasure
Thank
to
you.
have you on our show. So, to give a little brief idea to our audience about what exactly is food styling, I'll first ask you, what does food styling as a profession mean, and what does a food stylist do?
Food styling is basically making the food look good in camera.
Okay.
So most of the time when you cook food, it's it smells good, and that's why you associate food with very good smell is translates to very good taste. Okay, there is also something else called very good looking, and very good looking, not all food can be good looking once it is served to you in your plate. So we need to strike a balance. Basically, it should not lose its identity and yet look tasty. It has to look tasty for you to taste it, for you to get enticed enough to taste it. So that's food styling. You style in such a way that the food doesn't lose its identity and still looks tasty.
What does the process involve when styling a food product for the show?
Simran, everything depends on A, what the product is, B, what is the brief. So a lot depends on who is selling what. For example, if you're being told to style a burger for the camera, you need to know what the brief is, where it is going, whether it's a straight on shot or it's a below eye level shot looking upwards. And that also depends on what the burger is. It's got multiple layers and you want to show it larger than life. Then there are various the formulas kind of, where when you see eye level, everything seems very normal. When you go below eye level and you look upwards, things start looking larger than life. So when the client wants the burger to look large, you shoot like that. When you want it to look normal, maybe it's on their digital menu board, then you need to show the product as the way it is, not like, jazzy snazzy, because customers going to come see and buy. So everything depends on the brief of what it is, what the product is, and what the client wants. Within that brief, you need to improvise. It's like that. उतने में ही आपको कोहिनूर ढूंढ के निकालना है और रखना है वहां पर. It's just that you make it look tasty enough for people to go, consumers to go and grab it and want to eat it. So that's what it is. I feel food is something that you first smell, then you see, and then you taste. And it actually affects almost all five senses of yours. So taste, smell is there, touch is there, you touch the food, and then you eat and you get the umami flavor and everything. So it's like all your senses are covered with food itself. I am trying to cover the first three in this, maybe just about two, because smell to aega nahi, but from the look of it, if it's looking that yummy and that tasty, you humans, we start imagining that if it looks this good, it must be damn nice, boss. Let's go and have it. So idea is something. I recently this case study just happened very recently, very recent, in like less than a month back. We were supposed to be shooting for a rice brand, and lots of varieties of rice. A typical rice brand which is also exporting rice, and so there were around 16 varieties of rice that I'm shooting. Okay, every rice, there is a unique selling point for that particular rice, why it is sold, why people buy that. So a long grain is bought for either you're doing like Chinese fried rice, or maybe you're doing a biryani, or maybe you're just doing something nice, baghara hua chawal, which is just जीरा और प्याज का बघार डाल के खुशबू वाला चावल बन गया. It's the best thing on earth, actually. I love it. But so we were doing all of this, and I also know from the client and from within the industry also that nowadays basmati rice, okay, जब हम छोटे थे ना, तो जब चावल पकता था ना, तो 3 माले पे जो रहन है ना, उनको ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे खुशबू आती थी वो चावल की. अब वो चावल में खुशबू नहीं बची. There is no fragrance left in that rice. Okay. So this client came to me and they said, Okay, they have a variant still preserved which has that flavor. Now, how are you going to show flavor? खुशबू कैसे दिखाएंगे आप? The challenge was that, and even the creative agency was at a loss that, okay, long grain दिख सकता है, बिरयानी दिख सकती है, रात को नींद नहीं आती है जब ऐसे कुछ होता है ना. So you're like, you don't tend to become mad person, something like that. It actually came like a brainwave to me that I can use edible flowers, fragrant flowers, and make a rice dish with these flowers. And it will also, because it will show flavor, it will show kushbu. Because when you're working with those many flowers, they're edible also and they're flavorful. And it was such a hit. 90% of the time when you think, nothing comes. Okay, it is something that just pops. There's a pop that happens, कान में ऐसा pop हो जाता है, ये हुआ. Then you start mulling over, then you start working towards, ये मिलेगा कहाँ? Where do I get these edible flowers? Where do I get these chamomile and beetroot flowers and carrot flowers and fennel buds and things like that? How do you do them? Where do you get it? And you get it. Eventually, you get it.
Right.
It's like, yeah.
Right. And so, how do you source these products?
Yeah, sourcing is a big one. Generally, we have suppliers. I have suppliers who will give me whatever I want, whenever I want, as much as I want. It's always that. That's the brief which I generally give to my staff also. Unlimited चाहिए. ये आकर मुझे बोलना नहीं कि खत्म हो गया. Especially when you're doing an ad film and you got to repeat that one particular shot again and again and again. It's like, don't tell me the strawberries got over. I need to dunk them into a chocolate sauce. I cannot reuse it. I need fresh again. And maybe I'll do 10 takes. Maybe I'll do 20. But when you have something so intriguing and so niche, that's when the challenge starts, boss. It's like huge. I mean, like, there was a time I needed lychees, and in Bombay, you get lychees for all of 2 weeks in an entire year. लीची का कोई सीजन ही नहीं होता, पता है? अभी कभी बोलते हैं मार्च में आएगा, कभी बोलते हैं अप्रैल में आएगा, कभी हमको मई में मिल जाती है, लेकिन मिलेगी 2 ही हफ्ते के लिए. 10 से 15 दिन के अंदर वो खत्म हो जाती है. मार्केट में से खत्म हो जाती है लीचीज. एंड वी वर टोल्ड टू गेट, we needed lychees, and we needed the same unlimited supply of lychees in the month of May. और हमें पता था उस वक्त, हमने उसे मार्केट में देख चुके थे. तो we knew that the season has come and gone. Now how am I supposed to get it? And I don't know what my staff did, what Ruxana did, but we had 50 boxes of lychees with us for the shoot. Yesterday I wanted that Bengali newsprint paper. What do I do? शाम को 7 बजे कोई न्यूज़पेपर वेंडर नहीं है. जिनकी ऑफिसेज हैं, those are shut already. How do you get it? So this girl Riddhi, I called her. I said, "You're a production girl, right?" She says, "Yes." I said, "Good. I have a job for you. Get me Bengali printed newspaper. I don't care how you get it. I think I will need it latest by 9 p.m. मुझे लाके दे दो बस." And before 9 o'clock, I had the newsprint with me, and with which I made the cone and I did my shot, whatever. So yeah. So people work. The industry is such. We're geared up for impossibilities. Impossible is nothing.
So, do you have a food styling kit, and what all does it include if you have one?
Yeah. Brushes, tweezers, knives, foot scale, scissors, they're all. A good water spray, a good fire gun, a good flame torch, a good heat gun. Yeah. Lots of bowls, plates, spoons, small spoon, small spoon, even smaller spoon, whatever. We don't do measuring spoons. We just need small spoons. It's like that. So yeah, parchment paper, piping bags, nozzles. Yeah, it is a lot. It's like a big box. It's a Pandora's box. Once you open it, there's like a lot of stuff in it. Believe me, the equipment list is so endless. Like I might need a screwdriver. I might need a drill machine. You don't know for what. I might need an hacksaw blade. I I want to cut a coconut exactly into two, but very clean. I need an hacksaw blade. Whatever occurs to me that I need to use this at that time for that shot, I need to have it in my box. And that's how it is. So yeah,
Right.
most important for me, I feel, are my tweezers. I don't need fingers, I need tweezers. Because we do very detailed changes in a shot or whatever. So tweezers are important. Good brushes are very important to coat it with a glaze or even with an oil or yeah, brushes, tweezers, very good knives.
And I saw you were like, placing like exactly ये
Yeah.
पूरे क्या बोलते हैं that namkeen के portion में this is the exact spot where you have to place this
Yeah.
little one safe का टुकड़ा. I saw you doing that and like yeah, like exact precise यहाँ तो यहाँ ही safe चाहिए.
Exactly, वैसी चाहिए. Yes,
हाँ.
correct.
With that
Yeah.
so much of precision.
Yeah, and most important, I forgot to tell you, is a pair of very steady hand. They don't shake.
What are the types of food stylist?
Food styling as a profession is divided by cuisine, the subject that you're shooting. So by subject, I mean whether is it chocolates, whether is it liquids, whether is it alcohol, just beer. So food styling is categorized like that. So somebody does very good chocolates. So he's a chocolate stylist. Coffee, latte art, coffee styling. I mean, it's different. So you have specific guys, people who will only do latte art. That's also food styling, right? Right. Then there are people who will just do liquids. And in liquids can be from milk to alcohol to juices to syrups to yeah, I mean, just a whole lot of milkshakes and things like that. So there are liquid stylists, there are chocolate stylists, there are coffee stylists. Those are the different types of food stylists. From editorial to commission jobs to non-commissioned professional personal work, everybody does all of this. Categorization, I think, for food styling is more related to the food itself rather than the job itself. This is such a mad age of super specialization, you know. I mean, it's really crazy. Even as a photographer, like as a photographer, you can be a food photographer, you can be a product photographer, a jewelry photographer, fashion photographer. In an age where everything is so heavily categorized, okay, I think uh, food styling also should get into super specialization where you do a particular category of food only and you specialize in that and you master it. It's like for me, if you ask me, I'd say Indian curries is one of the most difficult subjects for anybody to style. Trust me. आपके पास में ना 12 पनीर का डिश है. 12 different dishes of paneer only. Matar paneer, paneer makhni, shahi paneer, this paneer, that paneer. Everything is there. Everything, all the gravies are ranging between orange to red. That's it. Light orange to dark red. The entire color palette is इतना ही होता है. एक आपको पालक पनीर मिल जाता है जो हरे कलर का ग्रेवी होता है. But other than that, everything is within this one color. Okay, from light orange to dark red. It's there. And the texture is almost nearly same. Kadai paneer hai, which is like a dry. Other than that, paneer is paneer is paneer is paneer. And you've got a reddish orange gravy. Some gravy is smooth, some is not smooth, some is texturized, some is like a little less grainy, more grainy. Some of them have some chopped stuff in it. Or other than that, there's really not much difference in one paneer gravy to another. You need to light it for it to look that. You need to first make it for it to look that, and then light it to look that. That is tough. I have always taken an immense pride in the fact that I know how to make these gravies, and I really know how to get the right color and the right texture of that curry in that particular camera angle, in that particular setting. So there's a whole lot of layers involved in food styling, and this is one of them. There are food stylists who only do desserts, who only do baked stuff, bakery stuff, baking, whatever. So I think categorization of food styling is that.
Right.
Samjha?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. When they have the budget and when they want to do something really, really chocolate related, they'll go to Italy to that particular guy who only does chocolate. It's like that.
Right.
Yeah. People only do beer. There are directors who only shoot Coca-Cola. Actually, just do Coke. Fizzy drinks. Among drinks also fizzy drinks. It's like थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही, but yeah, there are people who do just that, and they're really, really masters at their art and craft. Really good. They experiment, they innovate, they keep on upping their game. They're really good stuff that happens around. Yeah.
What are the skills needed to become a food stylist?
You need to know food. Definitely, you need to have a good knowledge of food, every kind of cuisine, because it's not just India that you're now talking about. You're actually talking about global cuisines. I'm working with global brands and different kinds of food. So Mexican, Thai, Japanese, Korean. So you need to know food very well. You need to know the science of food, how to construct and deconstruct food is very important. Basically, when you're doing video shoot or when you're working for a brand like ITC Dal Makhani, you need to know the process of what all goes in making that Dal Makhani so that you can make a video out of it and make it beautifully because you know the process. So yes, knowledge of food, the construction, deconstruction of food. So science of food is very important. Recipe, cuisines of the world is important for you to know. Now comes the second thing, which is styling. How do you style it? As a stylist, as a food stylist, important is to have aesthetic sense. One, knowledge of which cuisine is traditionally served in which vessel. Especially in India, we are such a diverse country. I tell you, each and every state is a country, is a cuisine. Separate Maharashtrian cuisine, Gujarati cuisine, Calcutta, Bengali cuisine. No, Lucknow, Lelo, Lucknow is Northwest Frontier cuisine. I mean, there's so much of it. Awadhi, it's a full range of food diaspora that you need to know. You need to know how to serve what, and in what containers. Is there a particular traditional way of serving it? Like you've got your Kerala, you've got your South Indian sadhya. Sadhya is like a thali, but it is served in a particular manner where you got the banana leaf, and exactly at that point you place the salt and the achar and anda and eggs and the snacks and the main dishes and then finally end up with curd or chas or something like that. There is a process even in that circle of thali which is served during weddings. There is a particular position for each and every item that is placed there. So you need to have a knowledge of all. So as a chef, I learned to cook, okay, and hence it was easy for me to use my knowledge and say, okay, even if I soak the rajma overnight, and even if I don't boil it till it is that smooth, but if I boil it a little less also, I can still make a rajma gravy. So that is where I will save my time more than anything else. I mean, it's not that हम एक दिन में एक ही डिश बनाकर उसी को शूट कर रहे हैं ना, हमें 15 डिश करनी है. 15 डिश बनाने के लिए उतना टाइम लगने वाला है. So as a culinary professional, I know shortcuts. I know how to make this arrive at the same gravy without doing that much of jamela. It's like that. So, no, food knowledge, aesthetic sense, how things are served, traditional knowledge of vessels and setting and arrangements of food is very, very, very important. Another thing which I don't think anybody talks about is as a food stylist, you need to not see the food with your eyes. You need to see the food through your lens. It's like that. So when I'm making the food and I'm looking at it like this and I'm doing things, I'm looking at a particular angle of viewing, which is almost a 90-degree angle. But my camera is seeing it from a 45-degree. So at 45-degree angle with that particular lens configuration, how does my food look is what I need to be aware of. Because there are a lot of times I see people, वो लोग they'll come and they'll say, कितना अच्छा लग रहा है ना करके. But it doesn't look good in camera. Why? Because they did not style it for the camera. They styled it for their eyes. गलत है. At least when you're doing a commission job, ये professionally आप personal job करके करोगे कोई problem नहीं. It's fine. Anything and everything is been leaking. Its beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. It's like that. But when you're doing it for somebody and you're being paid nicely for it, treated well, the least you can do is do it right.
What are the techniques involved in food styling?
So there are two aspects of food styling where food styling is applicable. One is in the static imagery and the other is in the video format. And both the places, how you treat food is different. Strangely, it is different because the camera is different, the lens is different, the lights are different. And hence, everything is different, you know. Everything a lot depends on how you place the food and how the photographer slash cinematographer is going to place the light and how he's going to light it and what kind of highlights you are getting and what kind of shadows you're playing with is important. Generally when I also do my own photography, not just as a food stylist but as a food photographer. So what happens is I generally like working with shadows. So I create shadows and then kill a few. It's like that. I'll start from a dark setup to brighten it up till where I need it and create the mood the way I want it. There are certain times when you need to be really, really very bright. And by mood lighting doesn't mean you got to be dark. It can be a bright, chirpy mood also, no? A early morning mood. Things have to move. The light has to move. That light, you need to see the direction where it is coming from, where it is ending up to, and what is there in between. It's that. So there's too much of fun here actually. Plus, what is important also comes into play is the setting, is how you've laid the table. Dinner setting is different from a brunch setting, and that's different from a breakfast setting, and that's different from a high tea setting, and that's different from a kitchen counter setup. That's also a setting, and that's different from your drawing room center table setup, and that's different from your balcony setup where you're just having a cup of chai or maybe a glass of wine or maybe a cheese platter. You know, so the setting is also plays a very important role in creating the mood of a particular shot. It's like that. It's a lot of fun. And I thoroughly enjoy the process. Yeah. So coming back to the setting, the कहाँ की दिखाना चाह रहे हो आप, उसके हिसाब से बाकी का आप सेटिंग करोगे. योर प्लेट, योर बोल, योर टेबल टॉप टेक्सचर्स, योर मैट्स, योर क्लॉथ, टेबल क्लॉथ, नैपकिन्स, cutlery, everything. There are certain clients who would want to say that, okay, we just want to be very traditional about these things. So, हमारा जो फूड है वो बहुत ही ट्रेडिशनली तरीके से हमने भी बनाया है और यही तरीके से हम दिखाना चाहते हैं. So then you get some zardozi and you're doing some Lucknowi biryani, you're doing a Hyderabadi biryani, you get those textures in. You have a Calcutta biryani, you do it in a bronze container because Calcutta is known for serving food in bronze. Kasa. कांसे के बर्तन होते हैं उनके ज्यादातर. It's like that. So Hyderabadi, when you go, you got the copper base, copper handi, जिसमें वो बिरयानी सर्व होगी. या ज्यादातर there's a lot of copper in Hyderabad. There's a lot of brass in Tamil Nadu. It's like that. Those are the things, nuances where tradition comes in, knowledge comes in, and then the client says, I just want, give me my tradition, give it back to me. I just want it. You not all the time you will get the luxury of embellishing a particular shot with so many things that direct you to that. Oh, this is Hyderabadi biryani. Not always you're going to get this luxury. It can just be one dish in a bowl or in a vessel, in any particular vessel which you decide, and a tabletop. And you still need to derive at that same conclusion. How do you do that? The lesser the setup, the smaller the setup, the more difficult the shot. Because you have to communicate a lot with very less.
What are the major challenges at this job, say from creative visualization to having creative differences, and then also to finally be able to achieve the look, for that product, starting from pre-production?
Yeah. Yeah. Generally, at this stage in my life, I work with only those people whom I like. So, in my life, riffraff is out. They're at the periphery. Okay, so most of the times there are not too much of creative differences that happen. Yes, that doesn't mean they never happened earlier on, and I've never had like major ethical principled difference of opinion. They all happen. We all go through it in our life at every stage. But right now, at this point, I have realized a couple of things. One is that you need to give time to anything, any art, any craft, and any person. Like I told you about this pizza job which I did. I mean, when you start doing it, you realize that it is more difficult than what you signed up for. So what? So what? You still committed, right? That's the responsibility. Even if you end up overshooting, even if you go beyond your working hours, why not? At the end of it, you need to deliver a good job that you deliver to the best of your ability. If it takes time, it takes time. If you didn't estimate, too bad. You don't always have to take home a profit. Sometimes you can take home losses. But you will deliver very good product at the end of it. And that is the best thing, the best feeling that you can take home. That, that nullifies the loss to a large extent. I wouldn't say it nullifies it completely. No, it doesn't. Go home happy that at least it took time. I was working till 3 a.m., but my shot looked good. And that's all that matters at the end of it. Nobody, when after the post is done and after the work is released, nobody will ever come and pat your back like, thank you, Sabha, thank you so much. तूने हमें 9 बजे घर जाने दिया. Nah, nobody will ever come and tell you thank you for finishing the job early. But if it is wrongly done, it will stay with your name forever. Things fall in place. Difference of opinions don't matter afterwards. After some time, you also, as a creative person, I end up working with many creative people. Their creativity need not be same as mine, can be better than mine. Most of the times it is. Because I'm not a trained art director. I'm a trained chef. I can make my food. But composition wise, they definitely studied it. They must be better, right? It's like that. So I consider that they must be better. So difference of opinion aa sakta hai. Give it options. Give it time. Like discuss it over a table, over your pre-production meeting calls. Discuss it and go through each and find minutest details of that particular project, whatever. So if it's a pizza, like what kind of cheese are you using? There are 4 cheeses. What are those 4 cheeses? Okay, you got to know what those 4 cheeses are, right? Come back home, see, call for those 4 cheeses, cook it and see how it melts, how it reacts, how it behaves. What's the shot that you're going to do with that? Do the shot once at least and do a test and try. That helps. You know, do some trials for yourself. To gain, it's trials are not to prove any point to anybody. It is to gain self-confidence. Trust me.
And anything, if you want to talk about like pre-May, any challenges?
No, there are no challenges. You take a brief. You keep
Yeah.
asking. If you know your product well, if you know what you're shooting, what you want to work with, what are the ingredients around over there, keep asking questions. Important is that I ask as many questions to the brand manager, to the brand team, to the brand custodians as much as possible, and take that with me and keep it and remember it so that I can apply wherever it is required. It's that, you know, I mean, there's a brand of cornflakes that is going to get launched and it is multi-grain and it's got like 6 different types of grains. So what are those grains? How do they look like? How do they react to milk? If you're doing it in milk or whatever, you know, you ask questions. How do they look in really in actual pura whole? Yours is rolled, they are cut. But how do they look uncut? Where do I get them from? Mujhe lake do. Everything. Ask, ask, ask. Yeah, pre-production meetings are all about asking questions.
I was about to ask you also, Kesha, when such things happen, so when the clients are also unsure as to what they want, then how do you deal with that? And same thing you were.
It's my responsibility to get it out of the client.
Yeah, keep asking them.
Keep
You already,
asking,
you
nudge,
already.
nudge, 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 nudge. उसको रात को सपने में भी यही आना चाहिए सवाल. क्या टीम? See, at the end of it, I'm only trying to iron out my job. I'm only trying to make my life easy. That's it. And for that, I will do whatever it takes. If the brief only changed, you were supposed to do it in a copper vessel and finally the client comes around and says, I don't like the copper vessel, you know, I think we'd rather do it in a terracotta bowl. Now that is something that the client is changing, which you can't help it. You've already done the job. This is coming out in the end, right? Now that mess is theirs, boss. Then I will not take it upon me. I delivered what I promised, what they wanted in a copper bowl. I gave. बाद में आप आकर बोलोगे नहीं हमको तो कॉपर में इतना मजा नहीं आ रहा है. आई थिंक टेराकोटा वुड बी बेटर. पे अगेन. Then you very well pay again because I have not done anything wrong in this. That much also you need to stand up for yourself. Usme bhi there are times, you know, seriously Simran, there are times when you feel that it's not going to be too much of an effort for me to just shoot an empty bowl in that same angle, in terracotta and give it to them and they will Photoshop it, remove that, put it here. At least the product will sell. At least the product will see the light of day, will come on the shelves. Might as well. कर दो ना, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Really, honestly, I mean, you need to choose the battles. Which ones to fight and which ones to let go. It's feed them good food. I'm telling you. एक बार तुम्हारा काम का गलत काम भी ना वो ठीक हो जाएगा उनके दिमाग में. If you feed them good food. I feed them very good food in my studio. Whoever comes talks about good food. PPM पे हम डिस्कस करते हैं मैडम जी कि जॉब तो है उसके बारे में हम थोड़ी देर बाद आते हैं. पहले डिस्कस कर लेते हैं कि डे 1 पे लंच क्या होने वाला है, डे 2 पे लंच क्या होगा और डिजर्ट क्या आने वाला है और शाम के स्नैक्स में डे 3 पर क्या होगा. ये फाइनलाइज कर लेते हैं फिर जॉब डिस्कशन तो हो ही जाएगा. You're in a food photography studio, यार अच्छा खाना खिलाओ. तुम अपने आप को ब्लडी बावर्ची बोलते हो, तुमने सीखा है 3 साल. हद होगी अगर तुमने अच्छे से खाना बनाकर नहीं खिलाया उनको तो. मस्त खाना खिलाओ.
Can you suggest some food styling tricks or hacks and also share instances where you had to instantly come up with, say, some creative solution?
Whatever God has created ना, I can't better it. So जो naturally दिखता है, जो अच्छा लगता है ना, उसको ही कैसे preserve करके शूट कर सकते हैं वो करना चाहिए. Rather than trying to cheat it. अब राजमा करी अब okay, let's call the elephant in the room. It's ice creams, okay? So people talk about that. People use dough and mashed potatoes and whatever to make ice creams. Yeah. We have invented ice creams for ourselves, and there's a particular look to it. But do you also know that that look is not constant with every ice cream? So if there's more milk in a particular ice cream, the look of that ice cream on the scoop is different from when there is no milk, which is a sorbet. It's like that. So from here to there, you also need to know that. Give them the look. Try and figure out how to preserve this look in actual. Things work out. Trust me, they work out. I shoot real ice creams. I do very less shoots because I charge a lot of money to do real ice creams and whatever. But when I've done it, it's realized. It's that's the way it is. There are times when you have to there are celebrity shoots are like a little difficult, they get stressful. Celebrity is going to be eating this particular ice cream and it should not melt. How do you do that? Okay, so that's when you get into making making the same ice cream with not that particular ingredient but with some other ingredient, so it still looks like the ice cream but it will hold longer. It's just that. It'll also be edible. You can work around it. Really, honestly, I just feel that why do I need to cheat? My cheating is to the level that I will cheat to make things, to expedite, to gain time, to do things faster. So I cook the rajma a little less. I cook the chicken a little less. I just use a lot many more people, a lot many more ingredients and do it right. If it's required that there are 10 people, kal ka shoot mein there are 10 people who need to be given like a full spread of food, we need not go there and cook on that same day. We'll cook a day in advance. If they have to eat, we'll cook a day in advance. We'll freeze it. Take frozen out there, heat it up and dish it out. It saves time, it makes it edible and it's good looking. All boxes checked. It's not even a trickery. It is all being done for the food to look correct and tasty. So I'm just doing a job. And in between, in that job, if I have to do certain things out of the ordinary, it's occupational hazard, boss. That's the way it is. I have made people eat strawberries with shaving foam.
From styrofoam.
वो मुझे बहुत परेशान कर रहा था यार वो लड़का. Back in yesteryears, I was shooting something with this thing and suddenly आ गया था that you need to show cream on the strawberry and I'm like कहाँ से लाऊं? शेविंग फोम का कैन रखा था उसको डाल के मैंने डाल दिया और ये कितना अच्छा लग रहा है सबा, ये तो बहुत टेस्टी होगा करके मैं खाऊं मैंने खा. उसने खा लिया, उसने मुझे दिमाग में बहुत सारी गालियां दी होंगी. I don't care, but he was troubling me a lot. So that's one such instance where I just had fun at somebody else's expense.
Can you share your favorite or best food styling project that you had worked on and why is it your favorite?
ऐसा नहीं होता है यार, सब जॉब अच्छा होता है. एक माँ को उसके सारे बच्चे प्यारे होते हैं. तो बड़े I mean, I was shooting for Taco Bell, one of my favorite clients, and there was this particular shot in which I wanted the 2 tacos in the end, and one has to, there's one which we're showing the entire process, okay, and the second one, the non-veg one, has to, as I pull out and I see this one veg taco in its entirety, the second one should come from the back, okay, from behind it should come, spinning on its own and turning around and coming and resting here. सोच तो लिया, execute कैसा करेंगे? So there you work with these SFX team guys, okay, and there's this gentleman called Mr. Joel Fonseca. I love Joel Fonseca. And I explained this entire thing the way I explained it to the client. I explained it to Joel also. He's like, ये करना है. हाँ, तो कर लेते हैं ना. And then he came up with a hack of how he put the taco, made a hole and put it below with a drill machine and the drill machine came right here. So it went right till here. That film is there running on YouTube. You should see it. It worked. It was so good. Oh my God. It was such fun. Yeah.
It feels great when you have an idea and somebody is able to execute it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I keep telling this to everybody. I said, I do what I like what I do, and I get paid for it. It's another one we did for Domino's के लिए, where there are onion rings. There are only two ingredients, and you need to glorify these two ingredients. Although कौन से दो ingredient है? Kanda and mirchi. So onion slices, you make those roundels, you stand them at a particular gap of like maybe 1 inch, or I think Joel decided that. So you stand them together like that, and you tip one off. They all fall like dominoes. Tuck, 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 tuck. By the time this falls, what I want is a whole lot of jalapeno rings coming into my lens, and they literally bounce over the onion and come towards me. That's the shot I thought I want. That's the shot Joel gave me.
What are the most important factors to be taken care of, especially when styling for motion visuals?
Yeah. I mean, the ingredient, whatever is moving, has to be good looking. Most of the times, I mean, so you handpick. If they're cornflakes, you handpick each and every one of them. If it's a liquid, then you make that liquid look the best without bubbles, without frothing. If the froth is required, then it should be the right froth. If like basically if it's a beer or any aerated drink, and if you need the bubbles, it should be good looking bubbles. If you don't need the bubbles, it should not be there. So if it's like a chocolate, should not have bubbles, it should be smooth as silk, it should look that. So it's not about what do you do, it's just a way we work around and set your own standards. If you conceptualize a particular shot where there's a tsunami of chocolate, okay, uske through you need to have some wafers, big wafers, or some of those ice cream wafers coming out of it through the tunnel and whatever. That's a complicated shot. You will need a whole lot of chocolate sauce, once for trials, for practice, and then to execute, and then to repeat. It's like that. So quantity, quality of what you're doing is all important, and really important is for you to have a benchmark for every product, every ingredient. Something very simple as a cardamom needs to be green. It needs to be nice and green, not yellow green. And it is to have that the skin should be good looking and the lines should be perfect. That's your own benchmark. So when you've been given like a kilo of cardamom, those are the ones that you're going to handpick out and use. It's that cinnamon. If it's going to be rolled, then how thick should the rolls be? How long should it be? How should it be cut? So it looks, so I show the roll and whatever, all of that matters. So you are always as good as your team. So important is आपने standards बना लिया, आपको ज़रूरी है कि आपके पास में एक टीम हो जिसके साथ में आप मिल के काम करो. Food styling on its own is an individual single person's job also, but the kind of work we do nowadays of making that entire food film is not a single person's cup of tea. It's a teamwork, and important is that your team knows what you want, vibes well, and still holds all those same principles as you do. So then it works better. It's smoother.
What are the other roles a food stylist can take in terms of like, because you learn so much, while you're working at it, you do photography also and so much. So what are the other roles a food stylist can take on?
Yeah, that's a good question, because you can style a restaurant menu, you can style restaurant buffet, you can style wedding buffets. There are uh, you can even do plating and help the chef. Any new restaurant, you can do the food plating for them and standardize the food plating, that okay, this particular dish will get plated like this.
Have recent technological advancements supported smoother production processes?
Yeah, technology helps, like from analog camera and photography to digital photography. Of course, it was a advance. It was a positive step to getting things done cheaper, cost efficient. Phantom camera. I love my phantom camera. Phantom camera helps me shoot anything at the speed of up to 2000 frames per second, and that is fun. So it's like it just comes. The milk falls so slow and chapat and splash, and the camera sees it. It's like so romancing with food was seen in high definition and slow motion is absolute erotica. It's fun. It makes everything look beautiful. So you did not know that when you cut through a bunch of leches, how much of water splashes, and when it slowly flies out through the leaves, and the leaves, when the knife goes, it bends and then bounces back. All that is visible only when you see it in slow motion. You come up with, then say that okay, this is there's artificial intelligence right now, there's AI out here rampant all over the place, oh my god, they're eating up my job. No, if you take it up as AI being just a tool to use your creativity in a better way, like Photoshop, like CGI, you can it then life starts looking better anyways, because nobody's eating up your job. Nobody can take your creativity away from you. What you can think, the other person might think, but differently. So your thoughts are completely yours to own. Competition is tougher, in fact. So you need to up your game even more now.
How did you first learn about food styling, and what sparked your interest in it?
I've done my first job that I did was for Captain Cook Atta, and we did fulkas. I was working in my hotel, Leela Kempensky, and I get a call asking me if I can make good fulkas. I was like, what kind of a question is this? Of course I can. I mean, duh. So they're like, no. We need you to make it for the camera. We want to shoot you making the fulkas. I said, okay, you can. We'll pay you very well. So that very well rang a bell. And yeah, so they paid me 1,000 rupees for a day, and that was more than half my month's salary. I was doing a morning shift, so by 5, nothing before 5, I can leave my hotel, and I will only do that. Okay, we'll come, we'll send you a car to pick up. It's like wow, and I'm like all of 22 years old. Like, wow, nice. The job went on to got extended by another day, so I got paid 2,000 bucks, and we just went ahead to this place called Prithvi Cafe, and we owed out the entire money out there. It was fun. But yeah, that's the first time I realized, I saw that there is something called seeing the food through a lens. The people started calling me in my hotel, because that was my only contact number. This is before mobile phone age. And I would keep getting phone calls in my hotel where I was working, at home. My mom-in-law used to sit and write down kiska kiska call aaya tha. So after a certain point, which is after 3 years, I realized that I need to choose. I can either do this or I can do this. I'm having too much fun both ways. I'm enjoying both, but I cannot ride into both. So that's when I decided that I want to quit. I jumped the bond. I was in a 5-year bond with Leela Kempensky. I jumped the bond. I got caught summons. I was like, "Ugh, no." I went back to Leela. I paid back the fine and dues of the bond, which was the balance money and all that stuff. I took a clean clearance from them, and I started styling full time.
What keeps your passion fueled, and also what is your approach towards your work that makes it unique?
So I work very hard. I keep myself, I study a lot, I read a lot, I keep myself updated with technology, the Bolt, the robot, and whatever. So I think this is the one of its kind in the country, even now. Keeping yourself updated to technology, to newer cuisines, newer ways of cooking. We've just recently done a couple of proper paid projects in AI. It's looking good. The beauty of working in AI is that when you work in AI, you are told that the food that you're doing should not look AI, should look real. Whatever you're doing, you're learning and executing it in terms of a prompt, and whatever you get, you keep improvising on it for it to start looking as real. Yeah. So AI can make real food. That's the oxymoron. AI making real food.
and I mean, nowadays it does like give photographs that look like real food. At nowadays it does.
Yeah.
Because I have a few graphic designer friends and they are asked to use AI.
Yeah.
So they are like, okay, ठीक है हम बनाते हैं flyers and social
Yeah,
media
yeah,
posts and
yep,
everything.
yep.
And even they are like sort of learning new so prompts वगैरह को लेके and आ रहा है. I mean, it does show like it is
It's
actual
not
food.
bad. Yeah, it's actually not bad. Yeah,
Not bad.
it's working.
Yeah, so even they initially even they were like AI, and now they're like, not bad. It's working out.
Yeah.
How can one become a food stylist, and what are the qualifications needed to become a food stylist, and or probably what are the courses someone can take up if they want to get into food
So
styling?
sadly, Simran, there are no courses till date. I mean, I have been doing this job 25 plus years, but till date, India does not have a course, even if it's a short term 6-month course in food styling as such. They don't teach anywhere. There are certain food stylists abroad and in India who will do like a 2-day workshop on food styling or something, blah, blah. But there is no formal education that you can take. What has helped me, and I'm sure that will help any other person who wants to get into food styling, is the knowledge of food. You need to knowledge of food and the hunger to keep knowing, learning. If you have a little bit more of aesthetic sense, good for you. That's an added advantage. Yeah. If you know physics, even better.
Where did you study food styling, and can you recommend any institutes?
I didn't study food styling. I self-taught myself. Self-taught, learned on the job, made your own mistakes and corrected your mistakes, and then keep raising your own bar and setting your own standards.
And so if somebody has to enter the industry, say food
एक
styling.
अच्छा वाला केटरिंग कॉलेज का कोर्स कर लो, खाना पकाना सीख लो अच्छे से, थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करो. Now you have the option of working under someone, work under someone. So I generally, when I take up interns, I'm always that I need at least 5 years from you. 5 years of your life I need. Give it to me. At the end of it, you'll become a food stylist, that I guarantee. I took 15. You might be 3 times better than me, but at least you'll take 5. Be patient. In any case, food styling is all about patience only and only patience.
What is the starting remuneration in this profession? And say with the years of experience, how much does a food stylist make, or probably how much can they charge?
So, I started with 1,000 rupees a day, as I just said. So that's one. But nowadays, depending on the job, there are too many variables in this Vira to decide a particular figure. The variables are who's your client, how big is the job, does he have money, is it a startup? If it's not a startup, then what's the kind of job that they want? Is it like a bulk job, or is it a very niche thing that they are expecting you to do? Is it a specialty restaurant? Is it packaging images for some product? All of this matters. And most importantly, what's the budget? There are people right now who, even at this time and age, will do a job for 2,000 bucks. Yeah. So I don't find it wrong. I mean, 2,000 रुपए में काम मिला, एक्सपीरियंस तो हो गया ना, कुछ ना कुछ तो सीख के गए ना आप, भले ही पैसा कम मिला, but you are only 22 years old. You might as well do it. Later on, you'll get money also because of the experience. It's first of all, this is not a daily job. You don't get to work every day. You'll get work for 4-5 days in a month. Maybe you can charge 10,000 rupees a day, 20,000 if you're good enough and if there's budget for it.
Right.
तो अगर आपने 4 दिन काम कर लिया तो आपको 40,000 रुपीज मिल गया, which is decent enough for a single person. Then if you're more ambitious and if you push harder and if you dig deeper and get more clients and show your portfolio, your kind of picture resume kind of a thing, and you show your work to people, you get more jobs. That's the kind of money you'll get. But that's a start. And if you're starting young, that's good.
Okay. And so this is like after how many years of experience can they charge 10 to 20?
कम से कम 5 साल.
How do you see the future of food stylist progressing?
It's going to go. It'll be totally taken over by AI. That's for sure. So there will not be any food that will be required to style. AI will create it. If you're smart enough, start creating right now. A lot of it still gets done in AI or CGI, whatever, but there are certain kind of foods which AI still cannot make. AI cannot make yakni pulao. उसको नहीं आता. उसे पता ही नहीं yakni pulao कौन सी चिड़िया का नाम है. So till such time that AI learns, you're good to go. But once AI has learned it, once everything has been fed in, which should not take more than a year max. We don't know how things are going to shape up. It's very uncertain. We don't know how things are going to shape up. So we'll have to wait and watch. Try and prepare yourself for the worst.
Right, right. And what if, like, if people can actually, like, learn the skill of using AI? So maybe tomorrow, if, like, you can create
Yes.
photographs and probably they
Yes.
still come to you कि भाई ठीक है AI budget कम है but you know कि वो image को balance कैसे करना है best, so they
Correct.
can come to you.
100% right. This is exactly what I tell people. That me as a food stylist, as a food photographer, I'm the best person to do that job. To create that image or create that video. I know it. I have done it all these years. So if you see my pre-production meeting deck, the the thing that I write to explain a shot is the prompt that I need to put in AI. As simple as that. The sooner you learn, the sooner you pick it up and use it to your advantage, the better for you.
So what is your message to these young professionals who are joining the field of food styling? Something you'd like to, probably give a tip, or probably you would want to let them know, okay, this is a skill you should have, something like a message you'd like to give to them.
Learn the craft, read, but don't shortchange yourself by not having hands-on experience. The craft is not here. The craft is here in your hands. Develop that. If you're not able to cut a lemon wedge properly, how are you going to style it? How are you going to cut anything else, and how are you going to make anything look better? Develop yourself. Develop your craft with your own hands, with your own mind.
Thank you very much, Sabha. It was a pleasure to have you on our show, The Professional Circuit. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, it took me further back in my life. Yes, it was nice, very enjoyable. Thank you so much for choosing me to be part of your family.